people have always associated testosterone with aggression because a long time ago there was a big little experiment that happened and it led people all in the wrong direction. Bulls, which are known to be very aggressive, they cut off the bull's balls. Balls make testosterone in men and in bulls too. And they cut off their testosterone supply and the bulls became docile and there was no aggression at all. So that was the thought. But then later on, now in this century and now very recently actually, they've proven that you can actually just give the bull a tiny bit of testosterone, tiny bit.
Like a methadone treatment.
Well, I don't know about that treatment, but I can say, you can talk about that.
Yep.
If you give him a tiny bit of testosterone, he'll have the same aggression he had before you cut off the balls.
Oh, okay.
So the idea is more testosterone means aggression, less testosterone, less aggression. That wasn't the case. But if you do fully cut off the balls, other things happen that take away aggression.
Okay.
And so the idea here is you can have low testosterone, high testosterone. It doesn't cause aggression. But what causes aggression and irritability and grumpiness, and I discovered this 20 years ago. Now it's been proven. But I saw that movie, Grumpy Old Men.
Okay.
And I knew then, understanding men.
You know, I did turn down that part.
As men get older, what's one of the common traits? Low testosterone.
That's right, yeah.
And they tend to become grumpy.
And you mentioned the prostate issues, which is one.
All these things happen.
And the lack of interest in a relationship.
Yeah, all that's happening. So anyway, back to the story. So what does testosterone do? It gives men energy, a sense of mission and purpose. What I saw is that men are always the most charming, romantic, interested in their wives, caring for their children, wanting to save the day, wanting to save the planet when their testosterone levels are up.
Right.
So that's the best of men. And it is true. And now it's proven that testosterone in men, when a man's able to release it through solving problems or doing good things for the world or other people, it releases his testosterone. That lowers his stress levels.
Okay.
So testosterone lowers stress for men. Oxytocin lowers stress for women. Testosterone doesn't.
Right.
And that's the big difference between men and women.
Now, I have a question for you.
Okay.
I would think that a lot of women, and this is what I get when they come to me more for a spiritual type counseling, they think that because they've been married 10 to 20 years, that they no longer are attracted to the other person, or the person has lost that drive because they're married. So you're suggesting that it isn't the process of them being married.
Well, that's contributing to it.
Yeah.
The process of being married can actually cause your testosterone levels to drop. Now, what stimulates my testosterone is whenever I do something and I feel successful, and this is for men or women.
Now, we hear that stress lowers it, so is this stress related?
No, testosterone lowers stress.
Okay.
Stress does not raise your testosterone.
Okay.
Your testosterone
I thought stress would lower the testosterone.
Well, you're using up your testosterone
to handle
the stress.
Interesting.
Okay. So a healthy man, like I worked really hard today teaching this whole workshop and the whole day and the conference and so forth, so I did a good job.
Yes,
and so I'll go home and completely relax, and I'll rebuild all my testosterone, and I'll be spectacular in bed in the morning. Because I rebuild my testosterone.
I think there's a lesson here. So you're trying to say that we need to recuperate.
Men need to recuperate.
Yes.
Women can't. It's the big difference. Women can't stop.
Women can't recuperate. Now that's kind of interesting.
Have you ever noticed that women are always busy, 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 busy,
Right.
and what do they complain about is he's sitting on the couch. I can say to my wife, well, honey, you come sit on the couch. She'll
now,
say,
does this have to do with their hormonal balances?
It's all hormonal
Okay.
differences.
Amazing.
It's Venus on fire. Women are overwhelmed, and part of that is because they're not making enough of the hormone that allows a woman to cope with stress. Sitting on a couch does not help her cope with stress. For us, we can just sit on a couch, relax, and look at a TV set, and that will stimulate the production of testosterone. So that tomorrow we can then use that testosterone to keep our stress in balance.
So I'm thinking the condition with women is they're feeling some sort of stress also, which is why they're running around the house.
Yes.
Probably feeling frustrated about the husband.
Let me tell you more.
So we have two stressful situations.
Yes. A woman already has stress, and then if she doesn't understand why he's doing what he does, she misinterprets it and thinks, well, he doesn't love me, he thinks I'm his servant, he thinks I'm taking care of him, and then she resents that, and that's more stress.
So we have some psychology to go with this hormone.
It all
process.
goes together.
Okay.
So what's missing for women, here's the new research. You know, I talk about men's testosterone levels dropping down. Women, what you measure in women is cortisol levels. You can measure it in men too. It's our stress levels. In the workplace, they do 24-hour cortisol tests, and they find that now, in the last 10 years, women's cortisol levels in the workplace are twice as high as a man's. Twice. They're not supposed to be twice as high. And when she comes home, and when he comes home, his cortisol levels drop. That means he relaxes to rebuild his testosterone and so forth. For her, her cortisol levels spike again after she comes home. Now the home should be this place that lowers stress for women, and the workplace, as for men, shouldn't be so stressful.
Here. Right.
It's amazing. So women, now the research in the last 10 years is showing a dramatic shift, turnaround for women. Men used to always be less happy than women in the tests. Now women are less happy than men in the test. But men used to have higher stress levels and therefore live shorter lives. Women now have higher stress levels.
You know, John, you just said when men come home, they want to relax.
Yeah, we can.
And women are different. So
they don't know how to relax.
Could that be a factor too if we change the environment or the way we act, the timing of things?
Oh, everything gets changed as we affect the
timing. And is this book discussing all these different factors?
Yes, in great detail. But I'll share a few more details.
Absolutely.
You have to make, when you make sense of what's happening in the world.
One question though. Does this tend to work for most people?
Everybody. People love this stuff.
Fantastic.
Everybody loves this thing, improves their relationships, improves their hormone balance, and brings back their sex life, improves their digestion, improves their immune system. See, when it comes to health, you as a doctor, you know this basic thing.
Basic as any body function.
That if you have elevated cortisol level, your enzyme production goes down, your white blood cell count goes down, so your immune system is being weakened. Those are your key things. Also, the ability of your brain to get a stable supply of fuel is dramatically diminished under stress. Because when cortisol levels elevate, your muscles suddenly say, we got to run away from the danger, so they rob all of the sugar in the blood. And then there's no sugar left for the brain.
That's right.
And so people
the brain
have
tends to function just on sugar.
It just has.
That's right.
Brain just functions on sugar.
Exactly.
Muscles, when you're relaxed, your muscles get their energy from fat. They burn fat. So if under stress, your fat stops getting burned, all you burn is sugar, and then you have fluctuating blood sugar levels, and now you have fluctuating moods. And women, their blood sugar levels drop twice as fast as men's, and often twice as low. So there's a big difference between men and women. If a woman gets hungry, that means her blood sugars drop. Kabang! It's sudden. And if she doesn't have enough sugar in her brain, then she has what happens, her brain stops making serotonin, and she gets anxious, upset, increasing blood flow to the stress part of the brain, and she will experience temporary amnesia and forget any good thing you ever did. And remember every mistake you've ever made.
This is making me think of something, because when I read women, and we do 20, 30 of these a day, the energy around them, the auric energy around them, which is very visible to a clairvoyant, is so different than a man's. I say women are typically running out of gas.
Wow.
It's like a flag on a windless day on the 4th of July. And just sort of wraps around the flagpole. So the first thing I do is raise their energy before I will even read them. But yet men come pretty much ready to go.
Yeah, see, here's how it works. To give you a little hormonal foundation is, under moderate stress, which we're all these days under moderate stress, there's 8 times more blood flow in a woman's brain. Her cortisol levels are twice as high as a man's.
Now, I think that's something that should impress them.
yeah, it's a big deal.
Well, so that means they need more sugar too, or they're using more sugar.
Well, what they need is stable blood sugar.
Okay.
What happens is when they're under stress, the adrenal gland stops burning fat.
Okay.
Now, fat gives you twice as much energy than sugar.
Right.
Sugar gives you short bursts of energy. So yeah, if her blood sugar drops, she could take a carbohydrate. That will help restore it. But it doesn't address the root problem that women are experiencing today. The root problem that women are experiencing today is, if I do it in the right order, not enough of the hormone oxytocin. And we'll get to what creates oxytocin. That will then lower her cortisol. When cortisol levels start dropping, then her body starts utilizing energy from fat, and she gets twice as much energy.
Right.
Now, women have a different brain structure than men's. And their brains are way more active than men's.
Now, I haven't noticed this, but just kidding.
But in that to sustain the activity in their brain, they require more energy than men. That's why men are not so depleted. Men just have to, men will relax and rest. Women, their brains don't stop.
Yeah, but this is sounding like a real balancing problem to me.
That's what every problem today is about balance. There's no right or wrong. It's the right balance.
There's a way to actually have a solution to balance these things.
Once women understand what's happening to them, they're overwhelmed. And so many young women don't even know that the world could be different. Older women go, something's happened. I'm feeling overwhelmed. I'm not sleeping well. I'm stressed. I'm not happy. And a lot of women are growing up today, and they just think that's life. That's not the way life used to be for women. Women's brains are way more active than men's, and if they're burning fat because their cortisol levels are down, then they have plenty of energy, and they don't resent being busy all the time.